Hey students, class is in session. Are you happy to see me? Because I'm super happy to see you. I want you to know that all of your teachers miss you. We live off coming to work and seeing you smile. And I mean, your chatter in the classroom is priceless to me right now. And I wish my whole house was filled with those little voices. So this is really hard to do without my students present. So please comment below. Let's talk. As soon as this show drops, I'm going to be around to chat with you, answer questions, or just hang out with you for a while. So hopefully you'll see this right away and we can talk and communicate. Today, I'm going to do figurative language. The reason why is because I've had content requests from a few people. I'm going to give you a shout out right now. I've got Victor, I've got Ian, Hunar, who have requested me to go over figurative language again. And it's a very important Common Core standard that students are supposed to learn. The reason why is because figurative language helps develop imagery in a reader's mind. When you guys read books, they're filled with imagery, and it allows you to feel like you're a part of that story. It allows you to visualize it in your head as it's going on. You feel like you could see it just as real as you could see a movie. And so I would love it if you guys can incorporate this in the persuasive essay you're going to write on Google Class. If you're writing a piece for your classroom, other students out there, think about adding 1, 2, 3, or all of these figurative language tools we're going to go over today. Let's start with onomatopoeia. Okay, today my theme is lunchbox, and I want to sort of stay in that same vein. And onomatopoeia is powerful because it's when you can actually write out sounds. The sound yum or ooh, yuck, or yummy. Those are examples of onomatopoeia. And when we write those, it also allows our characters to speak and become more real to the reader. Another one that's really popular is alliteration. Alliteration is the idea of using the same initial consonant sound many times throughout. Come on in, Peyton. Okay, alliteration is the idea of using the same consonant sound over and over, more than 2 or 3 times. So an example of this is Lucy ate lemons and linguine at lunchtime. Lucy ate lemons and linguine at lunchtime. And that's using 4 L's, initial consonant sounds. It catches the reader's attention. Oftentimes you could see a first and last character's name, or sometimes alliterations will be a title, but they're very catchy. And it's a good tool to not overuse, but to throw in here and there. Next is simile. Now, simile and metaphor get confused. So I want you to think of the word similar in the figurative language tool simile. So simile is a comparison of 2 things. It's using like or as. So here's an example. Lucy's tummy was as content as a bear's before hibernation. So this gives you an idea comparing Lucy's full belly with a bear's full belly before it would go into hibernation. So we're comparing her belly to the bear's belly, but we're using the word like or as, and in this case we used as. Again, Lucy's tummy was as content as a bear's before hibernation. And feel free to take notes on this. I'm going to try to put this up on the screen so you can also see it. And then metaphor is very similar. It also is a comparison. We're comparing 2 things without using like or as. So this is when I'm saying Lucy was something else without using like or as. Here's an example. Lucy was a hungry bear by lunchtime. I'm comparing Lucy to a hungry bear. She's very, very voraciously hungry. And so this is a really good example of, again, saying Lucy is something else without using the word like or as. And the final one we're going to go over today is hyperbole. You use this often when you're talking to your friend. You say, oh my goodness, I've texted you 1,000 times, or I've tried to call you 1,000 times. So it's an exaggeration that we understand is not true. And so in the same vein as lunchtime, Lucy was so hungry she could eat a horse. We know Lucy's really not able to eat a horse, but it's a commonly accepted hyperbole. It's a gross exaggeration that just gives us the idea that Lucy's very hungry. And so understandably, all of these are really important to use in your writing. Try to infuse one or two, and then pretty soon you'll start being able to interchange them. You don't want to overuse one all the time. You don't want to use the same type of figurative language, and you want to vary your sentence types. So only put these in like you would put salt on your food. They're a seasoning. They add another element, another spice to your writing. So I hope that helped you. A lot of you had questions about the figurative language. And if something asks you what type of figurative language tool is this sentence, now you can say it's either an onomatopoeia or an alliteration. It's either a simile or a metaphor, or it's a hyperbole. So I hope that helps you. And we will move on with the show. We're going to do some math now. Hey, don't forget your handy dandy notebook, because I want you to try to work these problems out. And if you think you know how to do it, you could start now. But one of the other questions I've been asked is to tell the difference between area and volume. And after this, I want to show you how to do the volume of a multi-dimensional figure. That would be something that's stacked on top like that. So if we stack two things together, what would that look like? Let's go ahead and just start with the basic two-dimensional figure and talk about the area. It's super easy. It's simply just a multiplication problem. So if you have a figure that has a base of 10 or a length of 10 and then a height of, in this case, it's 8, it's simply the base times the height. So that gives you 10 times 8, and that is your area. Now remember, you guys got 80. I know you're super smart, but remember, you always label this. In this case, we have inches, and if there's no label at all, it's just units. But in this case, we do have inches, so make sure you do label your answer with inches. And it could be centimeters, it could be feet. It depends on what you're measuring and what you're finding the area of or the volume of. If you're using, for example, your closet floor and you want to redo the floor in there, you're going to more like use feet. But if you're measuring the area of a book, you're going to use inches or centimeters. Let's talk about the volume then. The volume is what fits inside of this. So we often talk about that as cubic units. And in this case, we're talking again about inches. How many cubic inches will fit in this? So this is what we call a cubic figure or a 3D figure, 3 dimensions. It has a base, it has a height, and then it also has a depth. So we want to know how many inches, cubic inches, will fit inside of this. Because we got to know how much lunch we can bring to school, right? We're hungry. And in this case, using pretty much the same dimensions as the front of our box, we're going to use a base of 10. We're using a height of 8, and it has a depth of 4. And this is as easy as it looks. Just the 10 times the 8 times the 4. Now, let's talk about grouping and how we would group that. You know that anything you multiply by 10 is just adding a 0. So why don't you go ahead and multiply the 8 times the 4 first, get that answer, and then just add a 0 to the end of it for your volume. So I'm pretty sure you guys all got the answer of 32 for 8 times 4. And then all you have to do is add a 0 to it. So we have 360 inches cubed, or cubic inches, that will fit inside that box. That's a lot of hot Cheetos that can fit in that box. Now, what if I took this box and I also wanted to put my dessert in that box and I wanted to stack it? So let's say that this box, instead of being, I hope you guys could see that. By the way, this lunch pail I got at an antique store on the East Coast near Annapolis, Maryland. It is from the 1930s. That's how old this lunchbox is. And can you imagine what would be packed inside of that box? I'm sure like biscuits, cheese, butter, salt pork, all of the things that they ate back in the 1930s. But it's a very old box. But let's just talk about dimensions right now. I just thought that would be not as big as not as big as today's boxes, right? But let's just say these dimensions are, they look about 8 inches. We're going to go with an 8. Go ahead and write it in your notes. And we're going to go with a height of 6. And then this looks like it has a depth of 4. So again, you can group those. You could say which one would be easier to group first and then multiply the other number. We don't have a 10 here, so it's not that easy. But we could take the 6 times the 4 first, right, and get a 24. Or we can take the 8 times the 4 first and then multiply by the 6. It doesn't matter. You know why? Because this is what property? It's commutative property. So commutative property means that you can multiply the numbers in any order and it doesn't matter. You're still going to get the same answer. So in this case, you guys probably already have the answer. So just go ahead and holler it out and put it in the comments below. So what'd you guys get for your answer? Did you get 192 cubic inches for that box? So if so, think about it being stacked. How much volume in both of the boxes put together? So we have this lunch pail together with this lunch pail, and how much all together? Well, listen, you already know that the first lunch pail will hold 360 cubic inches, and the second lunch pail can hold 192 cubic inches, and all you have to do is add up the cubic inches to find out what it is all together. So again, multidimensional figures added. This is so easy. I know you guys are saying, wow, I'm smart. You are so smart. Did you guys get 552 cubic inches or inches to the third power? I hope you did, because that's what I got. So I could be wrong and you might be right. Let me know in the comments section. There's a couple other things I want to show you. Since we're here, we might as well do it. What if I want to get the area of a triangle? What if I have a lunchbox that's shaped like a triangle? Well, think about what a triangle is. Look at, if I were to cut this in half, a triangle is one of the sides. So a triangle works that way. If I have a base here of 8, and if I have a height of 6, all it is, the formula to figure out the area of a triangle is base times half of the height. So half of this height is what? 3. So 8 times 3. That's your area. That's how easy it is. 8 times 3 is my area there. It's 24.
24 what? 24 hydro flasks? 24 bell peppers? 24 Mrs. Boyts? It's 24 inches squared. Get your units right.
What? 24 inches squared. I hope you understand area and volume a little bit better, and it's one of the very important Common Core standards that our students can learn. And I also hope you understand commutative property. Talk about school lunches from around the world. And so here's a variety of 9 different lunches from 9 different countries. We've got the Ukraine. What are they having for lunch, Dalton?
It beats me. It looks
Ooh, it looks like beets, actually.
You said,
is that a pun intended?
It can be if it's better.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the thing in the bottom
That's
of the tray is.
That's a rolled bread or something, bread. I think. Some sort of flat bread with like a crepe, almost like a crepe.
Yeah.
Sausage with mashed potatoes, maybe. And
we're going to be so wrong. Someone from Ukraine's gonna comment.
I know. I hope you do. Ukraine, tell me what's in your lunch. And then we've got the USA. We all know what's in there. Do we need to go over
Chicken
that?
nuggies.
No. And then Spain. Now that, my friends, is paella. I know because I went to college there. We had a lot of paella, some nice soup, and some seed bread. I don't remember
bread looks
ever having
good.
lemons. So, but that is a good lunch. And then in Greece. Okay, what did you say that green stuff was, Dalton?
It's called dolma. I don't know if that's what it's called in Greece, but it's stuffed grape leaves.
Stuffed grape leaves, and they stuff it with something.
With rice, usually.
Rice?
Or I don't, the ones I've had have been rice.
And that's some roasted chicken over rice.
Yeah. Looks
And
great overall.
It looks like some Greek yogurt up at the left corner,
Gotta
right?
be
And a Greek
yogurt
salad.
with pomegranate seeds.
Brazil, look at that. Beans with rice. That looks really good. It's an all
Some
vegetarian meal.
plantains in the top right.
Plantains, that's right. Those are really popular in Brazil, aren't they? And then South Korea, I'm assuming that's tofu over rice. Do you agree?
Maybe.
Concur with
Kimchi
me?
in the bottom left.
Kimchi, bottom left. That's right. Lots of vegetables. And
I'm
then,
also starting to believe that these lunches might not be real. It just looks like
the type
popular
of food they
foods
have.
from different
Yeah.
places, but
I wonder if they really have food like this. We'll have to have some people tell us if this
classrooms.
is true. Because France, we've got our cheese and apples in the bottom left corner, kiwi, and I guess that looks just like a piece of meat.
yeah.
No ratatouille on that plate. That would be too awesome if it had ratatouille on there. And then Italy, that looks like the healthiest meal. It's got some pasta with some salmon maybe over a bed of salad. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Some bread, grapes, salad.
Can't tell what the salad in the top is.
Yeah. And then we have, again, from Finland. Looks like a crepe with fruit on it.
Yeah, are those beets in the bottom left?
It looks like more beets.
Sweet
Beets
potatoes.
and sweet potatoes and some soup. I don't know. You'll have to tell me, is this right? Foods from around the world.
If so, then we are.
If so, we're
slacking.
slacking and we need more veggies and better food, right? All right, guys. Now for the lunchbox battle. Dalton, make your lunch. You kids are going to vote on which one's the best. All right, moving on. We're going to have that lunchbox battle next. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to let you guys vote on which lunch is the best. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Today, I wanted to look inside a school lunch. Now, I'm not talking about your school lunch that you made or these school lunches that my kids made. I'm talking about what's in the school lunches that are being handed out daily. First of all, these are considered requisite employees. They still are going every day early in the morning preparing breakfast and lunch for all of the students who are dependent on that food or who need that food. So if you go back and get your school lunch, say thank you. Say thank you to the cafeteria staff. Say thank you to the volunteers who are handing out the school lunches. And my husband was one of those volunteers today at his high school, and he brought my son's lunch home because I wanted to look inside and see what was in a public school lunch today. So come on in, Mr. Boyd.
Hi, Mrs. Boyd.
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you for bringing my lunch.
No
I mean,
problem.
my son's lunch.
You can actually, all students,
Yes, all students.
not even high school students,
Okay.
if you are between the age of 1 and 18,
Oh.
you can come and receive a grab-and-go lunch. Isn't that amazing?
In California.
In California.
That's
And the
awesome.
grab-and-go is lunch for that day and breakfast for the next day.
Oh, I love it.
So let's check it out and see what's in here, shall
Check
we?
it out. Check it out.
First of all, the breakfast. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yes.
It's a Cocoa Puff bar.
Yes.
It's packed with protein and essential vitamins and minerals. With that, of course, is your dose of vitamin D.
milk.
Low-fat milk. Make sure you get your vitamin D daily for your strong
Yes,
bones.
milk.
And calcium.
That's a
Then,
breakfast.
the lunch
Lunch.
is a
Love
grab-and-go bean and cheese burrito.
Protein.
Protein-packed beans and cheese.
And carbs. You got your carbs
Got
too.
some carbohydrates there. Carbohydrates in the
good.
unsweetened applesauce. I myself am a fan of these.
Thank
I
you,
eat
Michelle
these all the
Obama,
time.
for making sure we get our fruits.
And finally, Total Juice Very Berry 100% juice.
That's big, 100.
That's huge.
Some juices in the store are only 5 to 15% juice. Make sure it's 100%.
So if you
That's
have
pretty good.
kids between 1 and 18, they can go down to their local high school. They can pick up a grab and go. It's all during this time, so we're working
Can they go to
together.
elementary schools too?
I believe elementary schools are serving. I don't know. I can only speak for the amazing Kern High School District.
Okay.
All right. Mrs. Boyd, you look really good today. Are you always that pretty for your classroom? Man, I'd love to be one of your students.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Have a great day. Have a super Mrs. Boyd learning day.
Okay, next. We're going to have lunch battles. We got Jensen in here. We got Dalton in here. We have Peyton. They are all making a lunch, and you're going to vote on the best one.
How come this won't fit in my lunch pail? How come this won't fit in my lunch pail?
Wait, who's gonna?
Okay, I asked the kids to prepare lunches. Whoever, whatever, if you're in the house, you have to make a lunch. I like the lunch pail.
This isn't mine. This is Aurora and Peyton have disappeared, so we're gonna present theirs as well.
Okay.
So this is Jensen said Aurora's. We have a thing of Pringles, tasty. Nutella pretzel sticks. I used to love these. Got some 100% fruit juice and some fruit snacks.
Taste test. You have to test it out and tell them how you feel. It's the test videos do.
Taste test? We'll save that out. I'm not really looking forward to testing any of these, if I'm going to be honest. Except the Juicy Burst fruit snacks, truly ahead of their time. This is a big brain move. Also, great playground trade value out of these. You could get just about whatever you want for 2 packs of these. 1 pack, I don't know what you're going to do with that, but yeah, maybe a Pokemon card. I don't know. So pretty solid lunch, except if I ate this, I think it would be gone by the time first period ended, and I don't think I would have any filling. Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys Peyton's lunch. And in Peyton's lunch, in this haunted-looking box, we have Ritz crackers. These were always a very popular snack, even up into junior high. So you junior highers and high schoolers, you got this right here. For some reason, like, they always tasted like they weren't just like ordinary crackers. You know, they had like some kind of like special thing about them. But anyways, we have those. And then we have these oranges. They're blood oranges, I think. So they're not just any old orange. They're special oranges. There's a lot of them in there, so you can share with your crush or whoever out on the playground. We have maybe you wouldn't share this with your crush because it's bad breath, but you have salami and cheese. So, you know, maybe eat this first and then this. But you have that. 4 pieces of salami, I think. And then, in case you didn't get enough cheese, there's an extra thing of cheese in here. So, you cheese lovers out there. It's a very cheesy lunch. And then, to finish it all off, so you get rid of the bad breath, you have this baby food. Strawberry baby food. It's organic, so you vegans out there, organic options. So there's no sandwich in both of these, so it's pretty like blah. But it's not baby food, it's sauce. It's strawberry. It's strawberry sauce. But your lunch.
Let's go see what you guys have to vote on which lunch is the best.
So first things first, you carry this into school. Come on. Who's not gonna want to be your friend just for having the Snoopy lunch pail? You're ahead of your time, really. The name of the game for my lunch is snacks throughout the day to sustain your appetite, keep you energized in class. We'll get to this later, the main edition. We start off with some beautiful grapes. Living in the Central Valley, we have access to such amazing produce. You might as well use some of it. These grapes look delicious. definitely going to snack on them later. I also have a pudding. Look, I know we don't want to admit it. Everyone loves pudding. You're going to eat this in secret. You don't want anyone to know you're eating it, but you're going to enjoy it. Come on, let's be real. Name of the game here. I've got 3 packs of fruit snacks. You're not going to eat these. These aren't for you. These are for trade value. Like I was saying earlier, one of the most valuable items you could have in your lunch. This is going to get me whatever I want. Hot Cheetos if I'm feeling like it. The value here is optionality, because I wait until I'm missing something in my life, something that I think I need. These get it for me. I've also got some beautiful homemade biscotti. 2 of them. Why 2? I only want 1. Trade value, right? Homemade goods. This is going to get me another thing that I want later on in the day. I've got some cheese to snack on. Peanut butter and jelly bar. And then my take of a household pastrami sandwich. Now, I don't have pastrami. I've got dill rye bread. I've got mustard. What do I use? Salami. It's salty. It gets the same type of job done. I also added some turkey for a change in flavor and some pepper jack cheese for a little heat. This is going to be delicious. Like Jensen said earlier though, mustard, salami. You want to avoid being around your crush after you eat this. So I'm going to suggest maybe trade one of the biscottis for some gum, for some mouthwash, whatever you can get for it if you need to meet that special someone later in the day. This is going to keep you full all day. Can't go wrong. And I mean, Snoopy Lunch Pail. You're everyone's friend with this bad boy.
That's a pretty good lunch, but remember, gum's not allowed on campus.
So let me just remind you, first of all, by the time we all get around to lunchtime, the pudding, it's going to be warm. No one wants warm pudding, obviously. I remember experiencing that when I was in junior high. I remember I would come with chocolate pudding. I'd be like, oh, I'm so excited to eat this. I come to lunch, it's warm. Who wants warm pudding? I don't want warm pudding. Same with the cheese. But anyways, I'm going to put his lunch away, and then I'll bring out my lunch. Have you guys ever wondered what a superhero would eat for lunch? Have you ever wondered maybe what Captain America would eat for lunch? Well, I have that answer for you today. This is the Captain America exclusive lunch pail. It comes with a hydro flask in my lunch because you want to bring your own water. Who wants to come to school and have the juice? Let's be honest, we all want water. That's what we want. When we're going through the day, what's the most reliable drink that we can have? Do you know what every drink has in it? A little bit of water. Now, we have 100% natural water from your tap or anywhere else. And I also come with a little bit of Tabasco. Because, you know, who doesn't like a good hot sauce with them with their lunch? Especially with a sandwich from McDonald's. This is a breakfast sandwich. I think it's a sausage, egg, and cheese. And, you know, sometimes you just want that. Maybe you put a little Tabasco on it because you need that vinegary flavor. So, good combo. And you're gonna want to eat that first, obviously, because you're gonna want to have your salty foods, your spicy foods before, so you can down it and finish it after with something a little sweet. So, if you're gonna talk to your sweet thing, you can have a little bit of a sweet thing. And this is what you can have with it. It's a hot Cheetos. So, like Dalton was saying, you can trade for something like this, but just think about it. You're already winning because you're the guy that has the thing that everyone wants to trade with. Just think about it. You're the popular kid. You're the cool kid. You're coming to school. Yeah, I'm the one with the hot Cheetos. Yeah, my mom lets me buy hot Cheetos. How about yours? No, you want to trade me with fruit snacks. I have the hot Cheetos. Anyways, you have the Nutella and pretzel, so you get a little salty and a little sweet. It's just the perfect combo. I remember, I think in Aurora's Lunch Pail, they had this as well, but mine comes with a sandwich. So we have this. You have, for anyone that likes a little Slim Jim, there's a Slim Jim. It's optional. You don't need this in your lunch. There's a nut bar, a peanut bar. This is pistachio and almond. So your parents let you leave the house with McDonald's because you're telling them you're coming with something healthy. And that's what this is. Now we have our fruit options. I know everyone wants fruit in their lunch pail or to incorporate it in some way. And I have 2 fruit bars. Not 1, but 2 fruit bars. I love fruit bars. Fruit bars are so good. In fact, I'm going to eat one for you right now. This is a fruit leather. It is a raspberry bar. And I think that these things are just absolutely amazing and scrumptious. So, it's so good. And it comes with this. And there's a bell pepper that I like to take in every lunch with me. So at the end of the day, or when I'm in any of my classes, like my favorite class to just munch on is when we're reading. I just like, hey, just take a bite of a bell pepper. And it just, a little bit of spice. It's amazing. And especially if you mix it with the raspberry leather, the combo, and maybe put a little Tabasco in it. That's Captain America's lunch, and that's my lunch.
Okay, so you guys have to vote now. Is it going to be Aurora's lunch or Peyton's lunch? Or is it going to be Dalton's lunch, trade value? Or Jensen's lunch, hot Cheetos? Superhero, the lunch of superheroes. It's going to...
If you choose my lunch,
Wait.
you win an exclusive lunch with me.
Oh, really?
You get to go to lunch with me.
Okay.
And I will make this personally for you if you choose my lunch. So.
Wow. Okay, so comment below the only way you could vote.
But remember, there's nothing like a free lunch.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to go over a few more things and then we're out. Okay, class, I got to finish the show off with 2 more figurative language tools. So the first one we're going to talk about is personification. This one is commonly used. And let's stick with the lunch theme here. My lunch laughed at me. That's when you get a lunch you're not super happy about and it's mocking you. Now, we know a lunch is an inanimate object. It can't actually do anything with a human-like quality. But when you say that, you're giving an inanimate object a human-like quality. This is the tool called personification when we personify something. Here's another example. Jensen's superhero lunch punched me with heat. There's another personification.
Awesomeness.
Punched me with awesomeness. That's also great. And then the last one we're going to talk about is idioms. One of the idioms I can use right now in this situation is I am on pins and needles, wondering whose lunch you're going to choose as the best. All right, pins and needles. I'm not actually walking on pins and needles, but you understand what I mean. You get the gist. That's an idiom. It's common language that we understand the meaning of. It's not literal, but it has an alternative meaning than the words in the phrase. So there you go, the last 2 figurative language tools. Add them to your handy dandy notebook, and I will see you on another episode, episode 2.
Jensen won.
Where we're going to talk about Legos, episode 2.
I'll be
Legos.
included in that video.
All right. Yeah, he's going to show you his Lego battle scene. All right. So have a good day, everyone. Bye.